Oh, so I'm gonna take a minute here on my trap line. November 9th, Trump won. That's how I'm gonna start it out. I'm glad to hear that. I voted myself for him yesterday. Anyway, this video was just gonna be a quick spiel on the angry old man that tried to kick me off his land. Okay, but the thing is, it wasn't his land, and this video has over 1,000 comments on it. And I'm going to tell you exactly what Minnesota state law is. Minnesota state DNR law states that if you can access any body of water that is large enough to float a boat, okay? So large enough to float a boat, if you can lawfully access that body of water, you can do whatever on it. I can go hunting, I can go trapping, I can go fishing, I can go water skiing on a 1-acre pond if I want to. High water mark doesn't count. Doesn't matter. Only time it matters is, you know, that landowner owns, you know, the land to the high water mark. You know, low years, well, low years, you know, according to DNR law, even if the water mark is up here, you know, and then there's 4 more feet of land that goes to the water, the landowner still owns that property because he owns the land that's under the lake. But in the DNR law, they changed this maybe 6 or 7 years ago to where you can do whatever you want on that body of water as long as you lawfully gain access to it. And in this video, a friend of mine owned the property halfway around that pond. That means I accessed that body of water through private property that I had permission to go on. That means once I get on that body of water, as long as I don't touch his shoreline anywhere, I can trap on that pond legally. It says it right in the DNR laws. You're going to see about a 10-second clip of what the exact DNR laws say. So that's it. Minnesota state DNR law states as long as you can lawfully gain access to any body of water large enough to float a boat, you can do recreational things on it. Hunting, trapping, fishing, skinny dipping. No, not skinny dipping, but still. This guy, what happened was he called the game warden on me, and the very next day, I mean that night, the game warden himself called me and said, hey, listen, this guy has a problem with you. And he called me, and I actually went down there. I checked over your sets. You're totally legal. You're not doing anything wrong at all. But I want you to know that this guy has been very ignorant and stubborn towards me and really has no respect for the law. He wanted to know if he could pull my traps out and set his own in there. And the game warden said, no, you can't. You know, you can unset muskrat houses if you want, if you go buy a license and all that. This guy wanted to do anything he could to irk me, you know, to get off of this body of water that he did not own. I am on water. You can't own water. That's the plain and simple fact here in Minnesota. So, the next day, game warden actually met me up by the road. I didn't even know he was coming. He met me and said, I'm going to sit and watch you. If this guy does anything else, he said, I want you to just wave your arm. He said, and I will go over there and I will fine him for hunter harassment. Thank God that for hunter harassment laws in Minnesota that, you know, antis and stuff can't come out and harass you. It's illegal. You get fined for it, just like this guy did. I couldn't have been happier that the game warden nailed this guy. And I honestly don't think that he could have either, because he straight up told me he had nothing but blatant disrespect for what the law states. So I'm out there, I'm trapping. I don't have video on it because when the guy got nailed by the game warden, I was across the lake. But the guy came out, started harassing me again, said, get off my land. All I did was wave my arm. Game warden saw that. I pointed to the game warden. I said, now you're in trouble. Game warden told me, if you mess with me, you're in trouble. You're going to get fined. Guy didn't say nothing. I watched the game warden drive. I kept on checking my traps. I got halfway around the pond. I seen the game warden trucking through the woods. The guy didn't even leave the spot. Made the game warden come down, give him a citation for it. Game warden met me back in my vehicle, told me to give him a citation for hunter harassment, and he said, if he gives you any more problems at all, call me. Here's my cell phone number. He goes, I will come back and I will nail him twice as bad. You know, so thank God for that, and thank God that I have good game wardens around here that help out the hunter. And so that's what happened. I actually pulled my traps that day because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. But I'll be back this year, ice fishing and trapping. You can guarantee it. Have a good day, everybody.